get per game. And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
2nd and 9. Throwing is McCarthy. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the shotgun, McCarthy. This will be caught once again by Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Vikings at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. And they've lost 3 straight here. And it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Second and a couple. To the air with McCarthy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. You look at this Browns defense. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. McCarthy going to throw again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Vikings first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
Now a 2nd and 10. To the air again, McCarthy. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding seams and openings in order to create these completions.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
2nd and 6. Here's McCarthy.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Now McCarthy.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They will start this drive with 4.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings.
They've been pretty solid against the pass. Toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
So prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes add up into points against you.
here's 2nd and 7.
Throwing Jones. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
The handoff to Ford up the middle.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 11 back
7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Jones. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That one out wide and intercepted. Keely Ringo picks it off. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This is 2nd and 8. Looking to throw McCarthy. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This will be caught by Brown and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Ronnie Hickman with a pick. And the Browns are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Into the hands of Cedric Tillman.
And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver. And it's good yardage and a first down to open the drive.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ford. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Two yards to go, second down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This is the tight end, Njoku. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Back to throw again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Over the middle, complete to Judy.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here.
They'll look to throw again. Steps away to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Daniel Jones taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Browns are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
This is a great decision right here. Out of the pocket to his left, and he knows if he waits too long, the defense is going to be all over him. So he makes a decision to go and wins the race to the pylon.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Throwing is McCarthy. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Operating from the gun, McCarthy.
He's got his target. That's complete.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
Catch is made by Harry.
And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Browns drive about to get started. But they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To throw again on second down. Jones, he finds his man, complete. It's back, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers. But all you guys can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got Njoku over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender, because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
This is Ford. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Joey Bosa in on the stop. When they're lined up in the 46 defense like that, running is just going to be a slog.
Especially if you're trying to run it in the middle of the defense. So what you're hoping, get a stalemate against the 3 across the front. And can you get some one-on-one blocks that you can win on the perimeter? To me, that's the best place to carry the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Palmer going in motion right. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And that one not going to work at all. Good defense all over it. And they blow that up behind the line.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Here's McCarthy.
Got a man open. That's Harry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now McCarthy.
Over the middle here to Brown. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To the air with McCarthy. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Martin Emerson. Down the sideline he goes.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. McCarthy over the middle. That's caught by Harry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Slot man moves right. Looking to throw McCarthy. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
McCarthy operating from the gun.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 41.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Second and 10. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Throwing Jones.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game.
And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. Back to throw. McCarthy. And he's got it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
It's fourth down.
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Picked off by Martin Emerson.
He's got daylight. And he takes this one back.
Finally got your ass.
The Browns defense has a touchdown. So they go for it on 4th and goal, hoping to get 6, and it's 6 the other way.
If hindsight is 20/20, they would have gone in and kicked the field goal, but by being aggressive, it actually cost them. Give up 6 points going the other way.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead is up to 14.
Makes the score Browns 24, Vikings 10.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
And they're on the 30-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
Throwing after the interception, McCarthy.
And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one.
A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
And he's got this down to the 35. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Open man, that's Tillman. finding space at the 40.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now Jones.
That's going to be caught. It's Palmer.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Off play action. Jones. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's 2nd down.
It's the pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 36.
Looking to throw. McCarthy. This will be caught once again by Brown. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th.
Throwing is McCarthy.
And my goodness, another interception. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
On 2nd and 10. Jones. This short pass into the hands of Njoku.
It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And this ball is not going to get to the 20, so this is going to be whistled dead, and the ball's going to be placed up at the 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. One final shot. They'll look to throw.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Browns, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
It's highly recommended. It's for all of my pushing the limit. Mile high got me over here for the flight attendant.
Yeah, I've been around the world and I yeah. Ain't seen a thing that I can't buy. See, reaching these type of heights, it come with a third eye. I'm better at betting on me, the numbers don't lie.
That's how we rollin'. You know them gold diggers. Want the pick of the litter, burying them hidden figures. I keep them triple hitters, call them silverback gorillas, going 8-8, and you know ain't nobody fight. What up?
Showtime, yeah, this is the big ticket. Coach at Comptown, I'm talking that King Richard. This like a movie, I'm seeing the bigger picture. These fellas are Cinderellas, I'm crushing them glass slippers.
On sight, I give you the green light. It's all bark, we all bite.
You gambling with your life? Well, let's roll the dice.
Don't be some problems if this dog in a fight.
That's right.
I'm just trying to get legendary. Open them wide. Something like mind if I pull up with a few?
We can arrange that.
Dropping out of the blue.
You know what that.
All I wanna do is and just take your money. All I wanna do is and just take your money.
Hip-hop took this globe.
We done did it.
Wanna see a mogul? We showing you how to pivot. Got this from DMC. Let's run with it. Took the fundamentals and having some fun with it.
These songs, King Kong, my team strong. Godzilla set fire to whatever I breathe on. Got the killers in choir all singing my theme song.
I could never do this alone.
Come on.
Still Dre, still on top, still got it. The Sonic still iconic, they still the product. I seen the money coming, I showed you that I'm a pro.
Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Your spot like, ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like, ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like, ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Grandma was in A, auntie was in it, ayy. Mama had AAA, I wasn't scared to crash anyone anyway. I ride a shotty while bro had a get away. I gotta penetrate, I gotta generate. I got like 20 some years to my hood, now I gotta go live away. I'm out of town, but I'm not on the getaway. I spin a giveaway. You mean I'm the generous king for real? The sleep, then I light up the street, got screaming like Billie Jean for real. I'm from the M, I got M's in the bank and M's in all my streams for real. Feeling like Phil, they be living like Carlton if I leave him in the wheel. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Your spot like, ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like, ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like, ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Baby, I'm loving it. I think I'm ready for kids. She said when it stop trying to in her face. That makes sense. I'm going up past LA Brent. I'm going off no fail, say switch. Yeah, me and my team go back like plastic cup boys on some tailgate. Okay, look, all eyes on me. I feel like I'm Truman. No, we finna win it, cause I'm about to lose it. I don't give a computers is disputing. I go off the field, no heads, just shooting. I die for my team, I'm the coach, I'm recruiting. I'm spending my time and I'm saving the day. I feel like a mutant, I'm built like a student. I'm feeling bilingual, cause I'm in Nigeria, rocking the Cubans. My life is a highlight reel that I keep on looping. You can't just tell me, you gotta prove it. Stealing, their first name is Lupin. I'm hitting harder than Ayuk, and they sending shots, but I'm high, just juke it. Hitting my desk, I'm B.I.G., you know I can't forget that I do it. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Your spot like, ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like, ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like, ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Two in, two back ends, booked up. Look up, I'm flying, yeah, I'm free now. See now, society's time me release now. Crazy, I'm finna go see now. Big style, big deals, vitamin water, that's a big one. 6 mil, coach came to me like I'm D1, like Will. I got 17 hours to the flight out. Only got time for a night out. So tell me what you want from me. We ain't getting no younger. So tell me what you want from me. We ain't got too long, no. You know I gotta catch my flight. You know I gotta reach new heights again. You know you run it up at night. You know I only get one life for this. The night, hell of a night. The night, okay, let's go. I'm the living like the text went through. J. Cole said it's memes and mills, but I'm the king and adjust it all. Really wanna wipe me down, I got more patience than a hospital. Sweaty better beef with me, they never beef with life's obstacles. I'm bad as a bone out. I'm way too toned to be toned down. Too big, so I'm cocky. From the back while I'm Twitter with my phone out. Got an Eminem deal, but I'm Hershey. 6'2", dark skin, with a purpose. Left a voicemail on my phone last night to myself saying, Lil Curtis, yeah. You know I gotta catch my flight. You know I gotta reach new heights again. You know you run it up at night. You know I only get one life for this. The night, hell of a night. The night,
Ay, wake up, shot calling. Pay what I bought it. New crib, psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Yeah, straight out the Lennox. That phone for hours. I'm straight out the minutes. They calling up Dion. Straight out the business. We take out the Sims and then take out percentage. Period, break out the minutes from capital and then we straight out the sentence. They pay out, I'm finished. Then grade out the Lakers, the Bay, watch the women, I curse. Don't meet your maker. Lord, please don't save them. Minor bumps as I've been paving the road. I go to sleep, go make